Hello, get ready with me while I talk about preeclampsia. I've had a lot of questions about, just everything preeclampsia related, and I haven't had the chance to just say like my side of things and answer the questions. So I'm gonna answer some questions that I have from y'all, and then just kind of talk about it. Maybe I'll ask chat some questions just in case, y'all didn't get to ask all the questions. And we're just gonna talk about that while I get ready. I need to do my makeup. I really don't want to, but I need to. Don't mind that laundry, I need to hang it up, but it's like the top rack and I just didn't feel like doing that right now. Anyways. First question was, when did my symptoms start? So I got diagnosed with preeclampsia at 30 weeks pregnant. I want to say that my symptoms didn't start until then either. It's like one of those things where like everything happened so quick. So like I was diagnosed with it at 30 weeks, I think, and I had her at 34 weeks. So it didn't feel that quick. It felt like a lifetime, honestly, but it was actually that quick. So my symptoms started then, and I like to tell everyone, like, never think it's not gonna be you, because I didn't even know really what preeclampsia was. The first symptom that I had was my feet swelled up so bad one day. Like I can't remember what I was wearing, some kind of sandals, and like you could see the indentions of the sandals on my feet. They were so swollen, but I was up until I really had her. Well, besides when I was in the hospital, I was always doing stuff like cleaning and trying to get everything ready for her. So I kind of thought I just like did too much that day. And so Dusty was like, that's not normal, babe. Like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? So obviously she does her research and she's like, it could be this, which was preeclampsia. And I was kind of just like, maybe, but like, doubt it. Like, I don't know. I just didn't think it'd be me. Well, then I started getting a lot of headaches, and I don't know, I got very lightheaded a lot. That just literally went everywhere. I kept getting lightheaded, and Dustin was like, that is not good, we need to check your blood pressure. Well, thankfully my father-in-law had a blood pressure cuff that I like borrowed that day, and it was elevated. And so when I asked chat, of course, we gotta ask chat, it was high enough to where it told me to go in to the hospital. And so I went in, and then you have to, which it's so weird to me that they do this, but to be diagnosed with preeclampsia, you have to go in and have a high blood pressure 3 times. So I went into the ER 3 separate times, and finally my doctor diagnosed me with it. So that's how that's when it started. And my symptoms were high blood pressure, rapid weight gain, so like swelling really, and mine was my kidneys. So it's either your kidneys or your liver, if I'm correct. And mine was always my kidneys. My liver was fine, but my kidneys were failing. And so yeah, those were my symptoms, and that's when my symptoms started. How was birth different because of preeclampsia? Well, birth was different in a lot of different ways. Like, I don't think I realized, also this foundation, guys, get real, it's like literally so good. I don't think I realized how bad it was until after, and then it kind of hit me like how much trauma, I guess, me and Destiny went through, which sounds bad because it was like also the best time of our lives. Like, obviously bringing life into the world, like it's amazing too, you know, but it was really, really hard. So birth was different first because I was on magnesium, and because it was so rushed, like, because they come in, because I was, for those who didn't know, I was in the hospital for a week, maybe a week and a half before I had her. And so they would come in every like 3-4 hours, I think, and take my blood pressure. And they don't want you to go into labor that early, like, obviously. And so they would take it, and if it was like high, they'd be like, I'll be back in 10 minutes and I'll try to retake it. Because sometimes it could just be like, oh, I just went pee. Because I was like bedridden, could not get up unless I had to go to the bathroom. And so sometimes I would go pee, or like anything could make it high, I guess. And so they came in, did that, and then once it was high, and I was already 34 weeks. And so once you're 34 weeks, if it's high one time, they're taking you and you're having a baby. So they told me it was high, and they would come back and take it because, you know, they try to do everything they can before you actually go in. I obviously was shitting my freaking pants. And so I could literally feel my heart pounding. And I'm telling Destiny, I'm like, oh my God, this is it. Like, there's no way this isn't it, because I'm so stressed out right now. Like, I know my blood pressure is not going to go down. Like, there's just no way. And so that, I think, was like, not that it was necessarily an emergency, but it felt like an emergency. So that was different. Another thing that was different is when your blood pressure is that high, your risk to have a stroke, a heart attack, seizures is so high. And that's what they kept telling me. And so that scared the shit out of me, because I'm like, I don't know what any of those things feel like. And I feel so horrible right now that, like, that could be what I'm feeling, and I just don't know when it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be like going through that and not know, you know. So I was like urging for a C-section for a little bit because I was so paranoid that I was gonna have a stroke or a seizure or something, and I did not want to deal with that. But so that's one. The magnesium, since I was on magnesium, I could not, since she was in the NICU and I was on mag, they wouldn't let me out of my bed for 24 hours. And so after having her, I got to hold her and have her for an hour in my room before they took her to the NICU. After that, I did not get to see her or hold her for 24 hours. And that, I could cry thinking about it. That was a lot. Thank God for Destiny, because she was with her the whole time. I literally forced her. I'm like, she's not gonna be by herself. What the hell? I didn't want her by herself. Like, it was just so sad. So that was a lot. I can't cry. What the fuck? What the hell? Okay. Anyways, I feel like those are the main things. Obviously, there's a lot of different stuff I feel like that happens, but those are like two of the big main things. Did it hit you fast? If so, how fast? Like I said earlier, I got diagnosed at 30 weeks and I had her about 34 weeks. So yes, and I feel like all of my symptoms were so rapid. Like, I don't know if y'all seen my bump or remember it, but I had a small bump. Like, I was pretty small. I think up until 30 weeks I gained like 20 pounds. Like, it was something like outrageous. Like, I did not gain a lot of weight. I didn't have a big bump. I wasn't big. When I hit 30 weeks, I gained weight, guys, like triple. Like, I remember, I think, going in 1 week, because it was like a week. I think it was 1 week since I have weighed myself, and it was like 20 pounds in a week. I had so much fluid in my body, and I could put the pictures here. I don't really care now, but I'm sure I will, like, the further in life I get. But I I have stretch marks all down my legs from how huge and swollen they were. My hands were huge, my face, like, I'm sure y'all see me at the end of my pregnancy. I was huge, like, and I felt it. Like, I felt like if someone poked me with a needle, I would just like ooze out. Like, I know that sounds gross, but it was a lot. So yeah, I say very fast. And like, once you have a high blood pressure, I felt like it was like every day, like I had a high blood pressure. Is there anything you could have done to prevent it? So there's not anything scientifically proven to prevent it. There's stuff that they think can help, like baby aspirin, and I think that's about it, baby aspirin. So I'm in a couple groups for preeclampsia just because I needed some support, you know. I felt like I was like it was just me and Destiny. Some of my family had it, but theirs wasn't as severe as mine. Like, I had severe preeclampsia. Like, it was pretty bad, which some people have it way worse too. Hold on, I need to get this off. But mine was, yeah, severe. Even my doctor was like, God, like, I can't believe you went through all that, because it looked so fine. But if you're a first-time mom or do any fertility things, I recommend, which obviously, you know, do what you want to do and all the things, but I recommend taking baby aspirin. You're supposed to take 2 a day, I think, starting at like 12 weeks. I would do it. I asked my doctor about it actually when I was not that far along, and there was no, you know, inkling. Everything looked, you could never think that you're gonna have it. Like, there's just no, like, yeah, there's reasons that you could get it, but there's no, like, you're definitely gonna have it until you get it. And so he thought there was no reason for me to take it, and so I didn't. But I, looking back, wish I would have taken it. But, you know, can't change it now. So yeah, I would definitely try. I mean, it's not like it's for sure gonna make you not have it, or at least not have any symptoms, but it's worth a try in my opinion. And if I ever get pregnant, I will for sure be taking that if I ever have another baby. Which I would be high risk either way, just because I've already had it, but it's so up in the air, like, and that's why me and Destiny have such a hard time. I know one of the questions is, will you have another baby? We have such a hard time going back and forth on if I want to be pregnant again, because it's 50-50. Like, I could get pregnant and be 100% fine, no preeclampsia, no signs of it, no, like, nothing. Or I could get it and it could be 20 times worse. It's so hard. And when you're living in that moment, you're like, I'm never doing this again, ever, ever, ever. But then when you have that love and that, like, baby, like what you wanted your whole life, it's like, how could you not experience this again? It goes by so fast. So we go back and forth. So there's your answer for that. Before I was pregnant, I wanted 20 kids, literally. Destiny wanted like 2. And now you hear me say that I just don't know where we might not. I would love to if I didn't have preeclampsia, but unfortunately it did, and it did traumatize me, and I feel like I'm still like recovering emotionally from everything that happened, and honestly physically. I know another question was did you have it after birth? So my blood pressure was high after birth. So how that worked was, I had a room in the hospital that my baby was in the NICU for. And I don't know why I never thought this, but I never thought that I would be kicked out of the hospital or like have to leave the hospital and leave my baby at the hospital. Never thought that. So anyways, when I had a room there, my blood pressure was high. Well, once I like came to the realization like they're trying to get me out, obviously I'm not pregnant anymore, you know, and after you don't have a high blood pressure, I don't know if this was just my hospital, but like they want you out. I don't know if it was just my hospital, like I said. There was some nurses in there that felt so bad for me because I cried so much, guys. Like I cried every day. I cried 24/7. Like I was exhausted. My body, like I said, was still recovering, and I still had such high blood pressure, and it felt like none of the doctors or nurses really cared, I guess. Like they were just like, oh yeah, like it should go away, kind of, and it wasn't. And I felt like shit, and my baby was on a different floor, like, so I was going back and forth, literally. Like me and Destiny were running ourselves on empty. Like it was a lot. But once I like I said, sorry, my blood pressure was high still, and they were trying to like hide it. Like they took it one time and then it was high, and they were like, well, turn over and let me take it again, like roll on this side, and it usually gets a better read, or like makes it look better, I guess. And I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to get out of the hospital. So I told, because like they'll have the doctors come in and do their rounds or whatever, I told the doctor, I'm like, no, it was high. I was like, it was high, and they made me roll over and take it again, and then it was like a little lower. Like, because for one, I wanted to stay in the hospital and have a room there to at least shower and go up and down, like, because I was in shock that they were gonna make me leave my baby. Like I was not leaving. That was not gonna happen. Like me and Destiny were not leaving that hospital without our baby. And so anyways, yeah, I feel like it did affect me, and I feel like it's still affecting me. I still, like, when we work out and stuff, I feel like I have to like take it easy almost, in a sense. Like I feel wore out. I feel like headaches. I used to never have headaches. Like I never had migraines. I never had headaches, and if I did, I could take medicine, it would go away. Now I have headaches all the time. Like I usually don't go a day without headaches, and I'm obviously breastfeeding, so I don't like to take stuff, so that sucks. But it's like I'm almost used to it in a way. But so yeah, it's still affecting me. I was on medication for it after I had her for about 2 weeks maybe, and then my blood pressure was too low. Like the medication, since it makes it go down, since it was like kind of stabling, then it made it too low. So then my blood pressure was too low, so they told me to stop taking it. So I stopped taking it. So now it's like every once in a while it'll be too high, and I'll just kind of like take it easy, which probably isn't good. And I packed away my blood pressure cuff, which I probably shouldn't have done, but like you could just tell when it's high, I guess, if you know what I mean. Okay, next question was, how long did it take you to get back to normal? I'm 6 months in and I still don't feel like I'm back to normal. I know a lot of it's probably just like postpartum anyways, but like having preeclampsia on top of it, you just feel like I don't know. I just have headaches, like the symptoms I told y'all. So that's about that. So now I could ask chat to ask me some questions. I'll ask chat some questions and see what they give me. See if it's anything different. I'm almost done with my makeup, so What symptoms affected me the worst? Probably the swelling. Or like the rapid weight gain, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, that was actually horrible. Like, I didn't realize how much I had gained. Or not even how much I had gained, because I didn't really care how much weight I gained when I got pregnant. I remember telling Destiny that. I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm growing a human. Obviously, I don't want to be, 300 pounds, but like, whatever. And I didn't gain any weight really until 30 weeks. What do I wish someone would have told me about preeclampsia before having preeclampsia? That's a good question. That it's not your fault. That's probably what I wish someone would have told me. That it's not my fault. It's not my body's fault. It's literally just random. Because I think that was hard. Like, I kept blaming myself, and then when something's so like out of your control, because pregnancy itself is already like out of your control. Like, you already feel helpless. Like, hopefully I'm doing everything I can to, keep your baby healthy and happy and all the things. So it's already kind of like up in the air, and then adding like something like that onto it makes it really hard not to blame yourself. So that's what I wish someone would told me. If I could say one thing to another mom facing preeclampsia right now, what would it be? It's not your fault. Literally, it's not your fault. It's like, I hate to say everything's gonna be okay, because like, it's literally up to God. Like, I can't tell you that, and I know that's something you don't want to hear, because I sure as hell didn't want to hear that. I remember so many people telling me, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be alright, it's gonna, like, you don't know that. No one knows that. No one knows if it's gonna be fine. And so people telling me that just did not help me at all. Another thing that I would tell you is to like open up, like you and your partner, to family, friends, whatever. Me and Destiny kept it to we're just private people, period, which is really strange because we like do social media, but we're like really private in the sense of like we don't tell people a lot of our business. I don't know. I guess we do kind of online, but anyways, we kept it to ourselves the whole time, really. I think it's been like recent that we kind of talk about how horrible it was and that we wish we had everyone there for us. So, but it's no one's fault but ourselves, because we kept it to ourselves and it was just me and her. Like, no one understands what you're going through too, so it is kind of hard to want to open up when people just say like it's gonna be okay, and oh, I've went through that before, you're fine, and like no one knows. So it's like, it's hard hearing that too. So if you don't open up, I get that too, because that's kind of why we didn't. What was the hardest part of the experience for me personally, physically, emotional, or both? I don't know, I really feel like it was both. Because physically, I was like down bad. Like, you could go back and look at like my TikToks, or I'm sure there's videos on here of when I was pregnant, but I was like you could tell I was struggling. Like, I was struggling so hard. And then emotionally, I think it was probably a week of me having it. I was like very, very emotional about everything, just because it was like more serious to me. Like, I knew my symptoms were getting worse and worse and worse by the day, and so that made me very emotional. And then after having her, my like NICU experience, I guess, was very, very hard for me, because I never envisioned that being our like reality. And I didn't really like, as dumb as this sounds, as I knew that we might have to go to the NICU, but like I wasn't prepared in the sense of I didn't know what happened in the NICU, I guess, or like what the NICU was like, or and then also with the NICU, it's like you don't know anything. You're literally on your baby's time, and that's hard when your baby's learning everything new. Like you can't be like, hurry up and do this so we could leave. Like it's so up in the air, and I don't like that. I like a plan. I like knowing how long we were going to be in there, and you don't, and so that was really hard for me. And then, like I said, the fact that people thought that we were going to leave the hospital is crazy. Like, and the fact they make people do that, and I'm so grateful that, you know, we have the financial stability to stay there, and to, you know, Destiny be able to miss work and be there with me, because I physically could not even go up a flight of stairs. Like it was kind of crazy. But yeah, we literally like slept in the waiting room. I told the hospital, because you're not allowed to sleep in the NICU, so you can sleep in the hospital, but where are you gonna sleep? So I told the hospital, like her nurses and stuff, I'm like, we're not leaving. Like, I'll sleep in our truck. Like, we live 2 hours away. We're not going home. Like, you're actually crazy. And then when we would shower, like, cause for a while, they didn't even tell me that they had showers there, like for anyone. And so, I would make my mother-in-law or my mom come and sit at the hospital while we went and showered, in like a hotel, or her dad lived nearby, so it was a lot. The NICU was a lot, and I hope no one has to go through that. And especially, like, I think back on like the people that were in there that, I don't know, couldn't stay and stuff. Luckily, I don't know if I mentioned this, but after they realized we weren't leaving, there was this nurse there that was so kind, and she knew we weren't leaving. And this could be another story time, but I had this whole thing with my medication. We came home to unpack and repack, and so my mother-in-law was up there. I think my mom and my mother-in-law. No, just my mother-in-law. Anyways, we came home, but I was still on preeclampsia, like blood pressure medication, and so I had to pick up my prescription, because that's the day they released me or whatever. Well, the whole thing went down with that. I didn't have my prescription, and they were like, you can't miss it. Like, but the pharmacy didn't have it. Like, there was nowhere else to go. It was like midnight, and I was supposed to take it at like 1. Anyways, and so we had to go all the way back to the hospital, and that was the night they released us, so we had nowhere to like sleep. And so we were gonna sleep in the waiting room, and that's what our plan was, period. Me and Destiny were like, we're gonna sleep in your truck, we will take turns, like one of us could sleep in the waiting room, one of us, you know, at all times could be in there with her. And anyways, that nurse was so kind enough to finally get us a room. There's like a part where, you know, some families can stay, which I think all families should be allowed to stay, because that's actually insane, and they should be able to pay. Like, I don't know who should pay, but someone should pay the family, like, for bills and stuff, so they're allowed to stay there with their fucking baby. Like, it's crazy to me. But anyways, we got one of those rooms, and so we were able to stay with her. We never left. That's when we found out about the showers too. We literally never left. I remember, because there's nurses in there or whatever, and they do care times, and so they'll tell you, like, I think it's like every 4 hours they would come in, and, you know, they have to change their diaper, get their temp, just do all these things. And we did every single care time. And I remember some of the nurses being like, y'all can sleep, like, and I'm like, no, like, that's not how I want to take care of my baby. Like, me and Destiny both, like, which I'm not saying people who don't want to take care of their baby, it's like, we were running on fumes just because all the stress, but I literally, it was so much. But anyways, that's all my preeclampsia things. I think there's one more. How did the diagnosis make you feel emotionally at the time? The diagnosis, when I got diagnosed, made me feel like relieved because I was in the hospital so much, and I was like, finally, like, I'm diagnosed, so now what? So then I got sent to a high-risk doctor, and I felt safer knowing that you know, I was being looked on twice a week or 3 times a week. I think I was going to the doctor 2 hours away, which was a lot, but I would do anything. Me and Destiny both would do anything for Radley, and at the time that is making sure that she's safe and healthy and growing, and so I felt relieved in a way, and then also disappointed, like blaming myself, but even though I know it wasn't my fault, it's hard to believe that, you know. But anyways, I am setting my face. That probably wasted half the damn bottle. Did y'all see that? The hell? Anyways, that is my preeclampsia video. If you have any more questions, let me know. I could always, you know, I'll comment back, answer them as best as I can. And if you're going through this, message me, reach out. I would love to chat. I wish I had someone that was like, maybe understood me more or went through it like recently and remembered, because you forget, and the longer time goes on, you act like it's less and less serious. And I felt that from everyone who was ever diagnosed with it before me, or like a long time ago. I felt like they were kind of just like, oh yeah, it was fine, but like it wasn't fine. Like in my head, like it was not fine. Like it was a lot. So anyways, I hope y'all have a great day, and we will see y'all next week.